Hello, today we'll be learning 8.5, adding and subtracting rational expressions. And so we'll start off with kind of some of the basics of making sure you've got common denominators, how to get those common denominators, and moving forward with a little bit of addition. Tomorrow you'll have a more complicated lesson, which will be more addition, more subtraction, but we're dealing with a few other factors involved. All right, so first thing, these are our first two examples. So if you want to write those down. We always want to make sure the denominator is the same. In this case it is. So we've got 7/15 plus 3/15. And all you need to do here is just add the numerators. So you get 7 plus 3, which is 10, right? So you end up with 10/15. From here you could factor out they both have a 3 and they both have a 2 in common. Or you could just divide top and bottom by 5. And you would end up with 2/3. That's the first one. The second one, again, denominator is the same. 2x plus 2y gives me 2x plus 2y. And you'd think you're done, but you're not. You have to see, okay, you always want to simplify as much as possible. So these two right here, they both have a 2. So you want to factor that out. So you're going to have 2 times x plus y. Okay. Now what you should notice is that the numerator right here has this part as well. And this is kind of from our lesson right beforehand that we did for 8.4, effect of crossing things out, simplifying expressions. So both of those go away, and our final answer is 2. Moving forward, if they've got different denominators, that makes things a little bit more complicated. We need to find the least common denominator or the LCD. Depending on which middle school or whoever taught you, these can vary just by either doing it mentally or finding out all the factors and breaking it down. And so I'll kind of show you that way, and we'll go from there. Okay, so once you find the least common denominator, you're going to rewrite each rational expression with the same denominator. Then you're going to add the numerators and simplify as much as possible. Okay. So here's your first two examples. So we've got 1/10 plus 1/15. And we've got m over 3n plus 2 over 7m. So if we look at the first example, it seems pretty obvious because it is. But let's pretend that you don't know anything in terms of it being that obvious. So you see, okay, I've got a 10 here and a 15 here. To find the LCM, you need to find the factors of 10, which are 2 and 5, and the factors of 15, which are 3 and 5. Okay. Then to figure out what your actual LCM is, this is kind of the way that I kind of learned in school, is you multiply each number that's unique by the other unique number, and then anything that repeats, you only rewrite once. So you've got 2, that's unique, 3, that's unique, and a 5 that repeats, so I'm only going to write that once. So 2 times 3 is 6, 6 times 5 is 30. So my LCD, least common denominator, is 30. And if you think about it, rationally, 10 times 3 is 30, 15 times 2 is 30, so that makes sense. So now you multiply top and bottom here by whatever to get you your denominator of 30. So here I'm going to multiply top and bottom by 3, and the second one I'm going to multiply top and bottom by 2. So I end up with 3/10 plus 2/15, I end up with 3/30 plus 2/30. So 3 over 30 plus 2 over 30 gives you 5 over 30, which simplifies to divide top and bottom by 5, 1/6. Now this one, okay, they both have an n, that's great. So you're going to be dealing more with variables. So they both have an n, which is great, but one has a 3 and the other one has a 7. The only factors of 3 are 1 and 3. The only factors of 7 are 7 and 1. So we just need to multiply top and bottom over here by 7 and over here top and bottom by 3 because my least common multiple is going to be 21n. Right? So multiply top and bottom by 7 and multiply top and bottom by 3. So you end up with 7m plus 6 is equal to 21n. Sorry, 7m plus 6 over 21n. So combine like terms as much as possible, and that's your final answer. You can't factor anything out from the numerator. You can't factor the denominator. There's nothing that cancels out. Do not cross these out because there's a multiplication sign, okay? So don't do that. That's not okay. So the 7 and 21 will not cancel out to 1/3. Okay, there's an addition sign there. All right, let's move on. So now we're going to write the answer in lowest terms. So please go ahead and write this problem down. Okay, when you write this problem down, you notice, okay, here's the deal. So we're dealing with more complex problems than the ones we just did. Whenever you've got something that's on the denominators, or numerators for that matter, factor as much as possible first. So factor the denominator first. So p squared minus 1 is a difference of squares. So you're going to end up with p plus 1, p minus 1. So we'll have negative 2 over p plus 1 plus 4p divided by p plus 1, p minus 1. So you end up with that. So now I'd like you to take a look and think, okay, my denominator right here has a p plus 1. My denominator right here has a p plus 1. But it also has a p minus 1. So you kind of look and see, okay, what does this one not have that this one has? And that's what you're going to multiply top and bottom here by. So this one does not have a p minus 1. So we're going to multiply the left fraction by p minus 1 to top and bottom, like such. Okay. Then distribute. So negative 2 times p minus 1, which gives you negative 2p plus 2. And then on the bottom, don't distribute. Leave it as p plus 1 and p minus 1. You want the same denominator. So you should end up with this, negative 2p plus 2 plus 4p over p minus 1p plus 1. We can combine these as just one bar right here because our denominators are the same. Take this out of the parentheses, and you'll have negative 2p plus 2 plus 4p. And negative 2p plus 4p is 2p. So 2p plus 2 divided by p minus 1 and p plus 1. They both have a 2 right here, these two terms. So factor out a 2, and you'll have a 2p plus 1. Right? They both have a p plus 1 right here, and this is multiplication, so we can cross this out. And our final answer is going to be 2 over p minus 1. Okay. That's it for today. So you can use the rest of the time to either email me questions that you have or rewatch any parts of the video or start your homework. Toodles.